Alright, hello YouTube. Time to play some Mechabellum. Now, today the plan is a little bit different. Hopefully we won't need to try hard as much, but how can I guarantee that? It's an absolute pain in the ass to play the same comp over and over and over again. But who knows, maybe we secretly find a way to break our own prophecy and find a way to destroy the whole thing nonsense going forward. But to be honest, I really do feel like secretly Fangs are one of the most broken units in the entire game. But who knows? Maybe, just maybe, it's not gonna be monotonous at all. Alrighty. Let's see what the community offers us. I actually checked up on the ladder, and my god, is it brutal. The current highest placement for combat power is 45k. And of course, Endozol being one of the top leaders, it would be nice to be up there as well, but there's no guarantee. Oh my god. what is this start? Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go Rhino Specialist. Hopefully this works out. But yeah, today hopefully we gain like about a 1k combat power. My MMR is still quite low. I can't do much about it because we got completely shreked a few days ago when we tried a bunch of meme strategies and none of them actually worked. Hey, that's just the game. Can't complain about that too much. Against some Mustangs though, we have a bit of an issue. Let's say I'll put this right here. And these on the outer edge. Okay, this should be good enough. Hopefully the arc lights can connect with the Mustangs at the end of the game. Or sorry, the round. But that's probably not happening. Next up, we're gonna clean out the arc lights quickly enough, at least. Let's see. So one arc light survives, two arc lights survive. Perfect, okay. This actually worked out. So what are we playing against exactly? Quick supply. Well, hopefully our opponent is a bit more civil, doesn't go full Mustang immediately out the gate, because that will be very painful to deal with. Yeah, we're just gonna hold our resources, not do anything special. Hopefully this is good enough for at least a bit. This is gonna distract the enemy sniper for a while. Actually, yeah, let's do it like this for now. Or the alternative is that we do it like this. Yeah, like this. this sniper should be a little bit less effective now that the arc light isn't immediately getting destroyed. The arc light is going to get a little bit more value, perhaps. Not happening. But that's to be expected. The funny thing is that the shield stays, which is the important part. Alright, so we have barrier, perfect. I would love extended Phoenix range. Oh, smoke bomb, not the time for it. Barrier is what we always want. Extended Phoenix range is very nice, but not necessary. Right. So, we actually want to be doing something like this. Yeah. This goes here with this. We need one unit of crawlers over here, and next turn we can fully transition. Yeah, this should be nice. In the meantime, you're gonna do this just to stop the bleeding a little bit. Yeah, the opponent had a smart idea of going Fortress, which we're probably gonna get wrecked by at the moment. What is our opponent? He took Shield Specialist, which is brutal. Definitely need more Phoenix and more firepower with the Phoenixes. But this is actually a very strange case where we can't really just invest into Phoenixes too heavily. It's too much stats too quickly. Our opponent knows that. Attack and range by 20. Okay, so one melting point actually makes sense here. Top supply specialist gonna be something my opponent probably picks up. I don't think I can afford a tempo loss of supply specialist. Yeah, I need to take this so that I can just put down a melting point roughly here. Yeah, so that it actually begins to connect with the fortress this turn. This gets sold. We need to overload, get this. And then an additional shield here roughly. No, I don't think we can afford that. So we go probably tank and one missile turret here to help out with this hit story here. So what did my opponent pick up? Yeah, top supply specialist as expected. I can't really afford top supply specialist currently, as much as I would love to do that. But improved melting point is gonna be the call here, just because it's too good tempo wise. At the moment, we have to go that route, as much as it pains me. The bet is that I can probably finish this game in 3 turns? Probably in 3 turns. Okay, parasitic ammo is gonna be amazing. We have to pick that one up. And I actually don't know if we can afford to get another melting point as much as I would like to do that. I think we need more fangs. This kind of has to die at some point. I don't think I can afford not to overload my Nexus or command center. So I think we go extra range and some fangs on the side. Something like this. And we actually might need some extra speed too, so that this connects faster and resolves the issue faster. By the way, going with parasitic ammo here is not the best because you don't have the melter to help with the killing of the fortress. But we should be able to do a lot of damage with these crawlers, basically. Yeah, they distracted for long enough for it to matter. Melting point has upgraded. And we are dealing a good amount of damage to our opponent. Alright, good. Super heavy armor. Surprisingly not relevant. Foot on the missions also not relevant. Alright, so this here, definitely need the range upgrade. We might need a level up, but we can't afford it this turn. What I could do is form a distraction, but I don't think we can do that either. The question is, does my opponent have just enough resources to actually finish this game before I kill them? Because this is the last turn where I have the opportunity to actually do anything to my opponent. Past this point, we're screwed. So let's hope this works out. If it doesn't, we are absolutely done for. Parasitic ammo is doing a lot of work. The melters are doing also a lot of work, which is nice. The Vulcan is stuck on one of the fortresses, unfortunately, which is definitely not ideal. But we might be able to kill the Nexus soon, and thus divert the attention. Good. Our improved melting points can actually handle the double fortress to an extent. Alright. Unfortunately, this is a dead end from here. I don't think we are surviving past this point. Yeah. I could go energy absorption. The ignite would be nice, but that's not gonna help too much. Level 2 is necessary. Ignite is gonna be very helpful. And some extra crawlers or fangs are gonna do a lot of work to help out on the sides. Here and here, basically. Alright, if we don't win this turn, we probably lost the game. We've probably lost the game. Oof. That is definitely rough. That's a lot of damage, and I don't think we can handle that much, even with energy absorption. Oof, sorry for that phone call. Looks like we won the round. Yeah, I think the punching fortresses just weren't enough. I kind of missed what happened. Wait, let me check the stream and actually see what happened. Okay, yeah, so basically the melting points carried that game hard. Good. Return to lobby. Yeah, it was essentially this was an unusual call. It was a moment where you can definitely make an argument pro and against what I did. The thing is, if we didn't win that specific round, we basically lost the game, and that was it, because supply specialist would have given my opponent roughly 300 or 200 extra resources past that point, and I would just get buried in units and upgrades. I basically thought, well, if my opponent is gonna spam fortresses, which they obviously wanted to, it would have been best for me to immediately invest into powerful melting points so that they can handle all the fortresses and perhaps deal enough damage to my opponent to kill the opponent before the economy essentially gap would kill me. But it worked out, barely, but it did. I was hoping to win a turn earlier, but hey, it worked out. Again, under normal circumstances, the opponent wouldn't rush into. Oh my fucking god. Would not rush into it, but who knows? I've always find that the diversity from my opponent's point of view is a nice change of pace, so just put it that way. I love when my opponents do something that I don't expect. Maybe that allows me to just adapt and get things going. Alright then, let's see. Eventually we're gonna find someone to fight against. Again, today's goal is to get about 1k of combat power out of this day. If we reach it fast enough, maybe we can finish the stream early, but if that's the case, I would prefer keeping the stream going for a little bit longer. Alright, so what are we dealing with right now? We have Supply Specialist with a very dodgy start. This is asking to get overwhelmed. Rhino Specialist is Fang Sledgehammer is fine. LS Specialist is a trap. Alright, Rhino Specialist it is. So we have Arclights and tanks. Oh boy, I would have loved to have some Phoenixes here, but I can't, so my best alternative is just Marksman. I don't love working with Sledge Marksman these days, because as much as Sledgehammers are very good units, Marksmen are not. They have been nerfed so much that basically everything they used to do very well simply just does not work. For instance, Marksmen no longer one-shot tanks, which is a really big deal. If my opponent has Armor Specialist, Heavy Armor Specialist, which they don't thankfully, Marksmen will not even two-shot in Arclight. But my opponent actually went with Cost Control. Now, Cost Control is generally a very good specialist, but it has one key vulnerability. If you and the opponent get into a situation where you're stat checking each other, you will always win. Basically, that's the situation you're in. You want to build up units that rely on raw stats to win, Sledgehammers being one of them. But I actually made the mistake of to go into the Sledgehammers too quickly. Like for instance, here I have basically four premium options. I can go extended Vulcan range and essentially kill my opponent with better Vulcans, or I can go heavily into tempo and rely on Sledgehammer range. Since I have Marksman, I'm incentivized to go tanks Marksman, which is a very good comp. With extra range on the tanks, I can actually unironically go carry tanks, and that is not just powerful, that is crushingly strong against specifically Supply Specialist, who can't consistently deal with tanks. Now Vulcan, I'm assuming my opponent went extended Vulcan range into against tanks. This isn't as bad as it looks. Vulcans are not particularly good against tanks. They're not horrible against it. But yes, this is definitely a point where I would prefer to actually go Phoenixes instead of Marksmen, because Phoenixes counter Vulcans way better than Marksmen ever can. Alright, can we kill this Vulcan before it eats up too many of my tanks? Yes, we can, and we speed this up and we go forward. Alright, perfect. Alright, this is one of the rare cases where I actually really need to go Phoenixes, or I will get outscaled into oblivion. Rhino is actually a very good temporary solution to the Vulcan, so I'm gonna make use of it and probably sell it on the next turn. Yeah, that should work, at least for a turn. It's not gonna be perfect, but it will do a lot of work. Oh, I see. He's going with best partner. Okay. Partner is interesting. The actual marksman that is summoned is the same level as the Vulcan, so giving too much XP to the Vulcan is definitely not on the list of things I want to be doing. And we definitely need some extra range on the Phoenixes, otherwise the marksmen are gonna be a pain in the ass. Alright, let's hope this gives us enough breathing room. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be fine from here. So I guess we need to go extended range on the tanks so that they don't get melted as quickly. Super heavy power or improved firepower is definitely on the list of things that I'm interested in. Now field recovery on this. Get an additional pair of Phoenixes. Give Phoenixes range, tanks. Range upgrade tanks. Some additional units of crawlers can help out. My assumption is that my opponent is gonna go even heavier into tanks and stuff like that. Not tanks, sorry. Even more into Vulcans, and essentially do the strat where you go marksman Vulcan with fangs as support. It's not a bad strat. It's definitely very powerful if you know what you're doing. I would definitely not underestimate that that kind of opener. But we hopefully we can just about deal with all this stuff. We're gonna sell off this marksman next turn, by the way. But the extra damage now probably helps out a lot. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so crawlers eat that missile, which is nice. That's what we want to be doing. And now our opponent eats a ton of damage. And none of the Vulcans got any XP, which is exceptionally important. Alright, extended range on Phoenixes, definitely something we want. Alright, so unfortunately, because my lightning storm is a real thing, and if it hits me, I am giga blasted screwed. I do not want to mess with the idea too much. And we need more Phoenixes probably. Not this turn though. Probably need a few extra units of crawlers on the sides and invest into damage. Something like this will help out a lot. Right. So yeah, my opponent did in fact go into even heavier on an investment into Fangs. Lightning Storm hits a few things, but not anything too relevant. Yeah, it did hit the Phoenix, which is definitely not ideal. And from here on out, we might actually want to go into Stormcallers. Stormcallers are gonna be very nice here, I think. I'm not sure how much my opponent can invest into anti-missiles, but hopefully not quickly enough for it to matter. Senior attack specialist, definitely on the list of things that I want. Alright, so this gets upgraded. Or probably not, I need to establish the Stormcallers first. See if I can get that going. Alright, so definitely need some more Stormcallers. This, like this actually. Yeah, I would have liked, that's actually a mistake on my part. I probably should have counted for that. And shields in the middle. Should distract this for long enough for it to actually do things. Alright, so these Stormcallers are gonna help out versus the Fangs that my opponent is summoning, allowing our tanks to do actual damage as well as our Phoenixes. Next turn things are gonna get a little bit nicer. Alright, good. Perfect. Alright, so next turn we might be able to finish the opponent off before they get to do nonsense. Alright, so extended range marksman is annoying as hell. I don't think I can take any of this. None of this is particularly relevant. So what we need to do instead is something like this. We need to establish shields, a lot of shields. We definitely need to invest into some kind of way of handling all this nonsense. Sticky oil bomb can actually do a lot of work. It's actually what I want to be. It's something I want to invest into. Some extra Phoenixes on the sides. Or in the middle, actually. Got extra range. We definitely might need some extra help, though. So I don't think we can do much more than this on this turn. Not without putting ourselves into debt needlessly. Hopefully this is just enough. And opponent had the exact same idea too. Did not invest into shields at all. Which is a thing you can do, yeah. did invest into anti-missiles. And indefinite took extra range for the marksman too. Alright, but I think we should still be able to win this. And kill the opponent before any of this gets relevant. Perfect, okay. Ooh, that was close. One or two extra turns after this and we are absolutely destroyed by what our opponent was doing. Got some combat power out of this, but not all that much. Let's keep going. Oh, hello Endozoa. What a nice time seeing you. I actually unironically wanted to play against this dude for a while now, but he was a little bit too high MMR for my opportunities. So let's see if we can chat up a little bit. Say hello. Alright, so we have... Oh boy, I hate all of this. Rhino Specialist it is then. Oh. Alrighty, so we have Stormcrawlers with some crawlers. Okay, so we definitely need our own crawlers here. This is one of the rare cases where I feel like we actually do need a sacrificial arclight in the middle to draw up some of the attention if my opponent puts the Stormcrawlers in a bit more of an aggressive position. I don't know the play pattern of Endozoa too much, so I'm not sure how likely he is to do something funky. But yes, you see, so most of the Stormcrawlers are currently aggroed onto this Arclight, which allows our actual Arclights to do more work on the sides. And our Arclights and Crawlers are now finishing the job. Perfect, so we won round 1 from here on out. That's not gonna happen more than necessary though. So what did my opponent pick? Wait, that's very low health. Okay, supply specialist. Okay, so that explains everything. Okay, moving from here, what do we want? 1 unit of crawlers with mobile beacon, definitely. And probably 1 more Phoenix? Yeah, something like this. So we go like this, and then promptly distract everyone. Yep, my opponent went for mass-produced Wasp, which is definitely interesting. I'm not entirely sure what that is about, but since my opponent went Wasps, which is annoying, definitely a very good counter to my Phoenixes, I think that my best option is Mustangs with extended range, which I think is what my opponent wants me to do, so that Stormcrawlers get some extra value. But I don't want to overreact with the Mustangs. As much as it would be funny, I don't think it's gonna be good. Mass produced Rhino. Okay, none of this is relevant, even a little bit, so we can entirely ignore this. The Rhino gets sold because it is definitely not super relevant here. Or is it? Huh. Let me think about this for a moment. There's actually an unironic case to be made for keeping the Rhino for a single round. He does have multiple marksmen lined up, so I'm not sure how much I like that idea. But I can definitely do something like this. Essentially force my way through. And the Mustangs should be able to handle the Wasps so relatively well. Yeah, my opponent is also going for the Mustangs with extra range. Oh boy, that's scary. Okay, so Mustangs versus Mustangs. Mine is gonna lose. So, okay, he went even heavier into... No, he did not go heavier into the Wasps, thankfully. Saves me a little bit of sanity. So, if my opponent is going heavy into the Mustangs, I don't think he is, though. I think he's not gonna overcommit. It'd be very strange if he did. Definitely a situation where I need, yeah, there's Assault Vulcan. That's definitely exactly what I want. Alright, so. We get rid of the Rhino. We don't need him anymore. And we go Vulcan. Now we return to doing this dance over here. Go here. We do need extra range on these. Absolutely need them. And the extra level on this is gonna be helpful. Let's clear up some of the chaff over here, or specifically the wasps, so they don't distract too long. Yep, alright, so he did go with Vulcans, of all things. But weirdly enough, he didn't go Assault Vulcan, which is exceptionally a strange choice. Oh, I see. It's because he went Legion on that one. Alright. Okay, Legion definitely is worth it. Especially before I get any real damage on any of my units. Alright, kill the tower, please. Alright, now we can get rid of the marksman. Alright, so this is an issue. The regen on the Vulcan makes everything a lot harder than it needs to. Alright, so let me think about this. If my opponent did what Okay. Well, I would go melters under normal circumstances, but these are not normal circumstances. My best choice is to basically ignore my opponent's board. Leveling up this Vulcan would be nice, but unfortunately I don't think I can afford it this turn, so I'm not going to. We will do that next turn. Okay, so the extra range actually quite bit me in the ass here. That's definitely not optimal. The extra range made it so that my Vulcan aggroed onto the other Vulcan, making it basically pointless. Not really an interaction I see very often. Firepower is interesting, but Smoke Bomb is incredibly relevant here. Okay, let me think about how we should be doing this. Something like this. Alrighty. So we go like this. By the way, I have absolutely no misconceptions about this moment in the game. We are outmatched. The opponent knows what they're doing. We do not. And it's not close by any means or stretch of the imagination. So I'm not even going to pretend like we have a high chance of winning this. I am still getting used to most of what my composition is meant to represent. So we are going to be struggling. So yeah, the Vulcan aggroes onto the shield and basically not doing anything. Which is definitely suboptimal. Now we lose the round because, again, our chaff gets cleared. GG's. I would normally think that Assault Vulcan is very good. But that's a very good demonstration as to why you don't want to invest into range too soon. But because of the Mustang's level 2 extra range, I really wanted to. And maybe that was a throw. Going Assault Vulcan with without the range would have probably been better in that situation, because we absolutely needed to scale up our Phoenixes before we went into the Vulcan stuff. Alright, that's a very interesting lesson. Definitely gonna note that for the future. The quick supply specialist. Okay, cost control with Fang Phoenixes. That's just almost so perfect. I would like to cry. So we go. Okay, so this is This is gonna be very funny, but we actually need to do this. So what our opponent is very likely to do, in fact, I would bet a lot on this, is that my opponent is gonna try to rush me down. Now the question is on which side. And this Arclight is gonna be basically responsible for clearing, I would say, roughly everything my opponent has, specifically in terms of chat. So let's see. All right, yeah. My opponent went for an exceptionally aggressive start, and this Arclight is gonna hopefully allow us to clear the chorus. But this is the very unfortunate part. Yeah, Arclights, okay, we just barely are able to actually do this. Alright, so that's very important. Fortunately, we still lose most of our ground. But with 3 Phoenixes, we should be able to clear out this mess relatively quickly. The question is how much these steel balls are gonna get in terms of XP. That's the one thing I'm afraid of. Alright. So our opponent went to the right. Extra range not necessary. Deploying specialist is gonna be crucial. Alright, so I've been in this situation many different times, so I'm somewhat familiar with what I'm supposed to be doing. The basic 1, 2, 3 is that we definitely need a healthy amount of Arclights protecting our basically our in this case our tower, but I'll call it the Nexus Center. The Nexus just because I used to watch StarCraft and I like to now call these things Nexuses. And we'll see. Hopefully this is enough. Yep. Unfortunately, I don't think the missile did as much as I would like it to do. The Mustangs are gonna be very annoying. They are perfect for handling our Phoenixes in the air. Thankfully, we did clear out all of the yeah, we did clear out all the steel balls, which is usually the thing I'm mostly afraid of. If my opponent goes into Mustangs, which makes sense since I have multiple Phoenixes, our best shot is actually to do something like this. We stall a little bit for time. Invest even heavier into Arclights. And this is the moment when we start to force our opponent to invest into their flanks. Because if they basically take advantage of the fact that we have a very low range to actually handle all of the annoying stuff that our opponent could potentially be doing, we are more than screwed. So I do not want to be in that position if granted the option. Alrighty. Seems means that we are somewhat clearing this mess. Alright, good. Now, this is actually one of the cases when a little piece of tech works out very well. I like to... Okay, yeah, he is definitely gonna go with subsidized Mustangs. It's not even a question. And because he's gonna do that, our best bet is actually to do this and to this. And it's not close. The extra range will help later. I'm gonna upgrade these arc lights in just a bit. But yes, if he's going to go subsidize Mustangs, we absolutely need to start using Stormcallers, specifically with a higher rate of fire, so that missile turrets are a little bit less of an issue. So he sold off... Okay, wait. Did he... Yeah, he did go with elite recruitment. Alright. Nothing too unusual in that sense, but we definitely need to now invest very heavily into Stormcallers so that they can actually clear out the Mustangs. Slowly but surely. Because the steel balls haven't farmed any amount of XP, we actually are in a favorable position now. Electromagnetic blast, that is definitely something we are interested in. We do this, and there is a slight chance we actually win this turn. Not a massive one, but it is there. So we go with extra range. Go with chaff. Make sure the opponent is playing reasonably. Stall here. Actually, what we want is to do this. We want to clear out this nonsense, clear out this nonsense, and on this a little bit faster, and that should be enough. Alright. Yep, so this electromagnetic glass is gonna do a lot of work here. Yeah, so my opponent went even heavier into Mustangs as expected. The electromagnetic blast is going to buy us a lot of time, and it is very likely that my opponent might die here. If they don't, it's unfortunate, but it happens. Alright, so the Mustangs are mostly dying at the rate I want them to be dying. Perfect stuff. So Stormcallers have enough of a fire rate to handle... Yep. Alright. This might kill the opponent. Perfect. Alrighty, I guess one more game and we might get there. Oh my god, and was always at 45k, holy nutballs. I did not expect, okay, what? He's actually on top in an A now. No wonder he's like beating my ass senseless. Oh shit. Alright, we can maybe go one more game. After that, we do need to start moving away. So, how much actual stream time do you have? We have about, okay, so yeah, we are about on an hour mark. I just need to like handle some business a little bit later today, so I won't stay on for that much longer. But there's definitely some very good highlight games. I can definitely turn this stream into a bit of a highlight video later today. You can watch that in your free time. I will need to unfortunately cut out the phone calls. Those are unironically annoying, not just to you, but to me as well. Alright, so we have heavy armor specialist with the composition I prefer. Steel bowing things I don't like. Speed specialist with the marksman and sledgehammer is a little bit too all in. And the lead specialist gets me killed. Alright. Alright. My opponent again chose an exceptionally aggressive start. There is a very high likelihood that this means that our opponent is going into the I'm going into the all-in steel ball strat, in which case we need to keep our phoenixes surprisingly close to the center so that they can handle both sides quickly. And we need to, yeah, this is just about enough. Okay, so probably need to do this stuff. If you're wondering why I'm adjusting this just a little bit, is because we need all of this stuff to aggro onto a flank of ours in order to actually do the thing we need to do, aka counter the strategy. And basically worked out. We didn't fully get the effect we wanted, and he did, Koros did get through, which is definitely not ideal. The Mustangs are gonna get a lot of extra XP for no good reason. This final arclight is gonna be able to clear out the rest. Alright then. What is with people and just going absolutely all in with steel balls these days? Like, it's like, just in this stream, this is the second time it happens, and it's incredibly weird that it does. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not the worst strategy in the world, it has merits, but by no means is it good. If your opponent against which you're playing understands what they're doing, this strategy will not work out. He actually did not take a strike specialist, which is interesting. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm taking strike specialist, it's literally because I need to flank my opponent eventually. Come on, there we go. Fortunately, I think we lose this. Yeah, we do. Alright. Since my opponent is going heavily into Mustangs, we need to do the thing we did last time, which is transition into Stormcallers. and force our opponent to play fair. Yeah, that's what I did not want to see. All right. Something like this. Yeah, he's going super heavy into Mustangs. And now we absolutely need to handle this quickly, or else the XP gap is going to crush us. And we absolutely do not want that. Alright, so now this gives us a lot of room to breathe. And our Stormclaws are gonna start heavy carrying from here on out. Tech Specialist and Ion Blast. Now Ion Blast is an absolute pain. We cannot really avoid the problem of it basically destroying us completely. So our best alternative is to hope that our opponent does not pick it for whatever reason. But that's wishful thinking. Yeah, there's the Ion Blast on some cards. We just lose this round. It's one of the things that I don't like about Mechabellum. These skills oftentimes just line up perfectly against you, and there's very little you can just do about it. You just lose sometimes because the skills happen to favor your opponent's strategy more than it favors you. Like I could have picked a Blast here myself and helped up a little bit, but that would have been a throw, because I wouldn't have dealt nearly enough damage to my opponent compared to what my opponent would have done to me. Like again, Orbital Bombardment. An absolute pain, but I cannot pick it against my opponent because I'm the one being shoved into a corner. Alright, so we definitely need to stall on the left because our opponent is definitely in the market for cheesing us over there. The lifesteal on these is incredibly annoying, but I can't really do much about that. So I need to do this basically. Alright. That seemed to have settled that problem relatively well. We're still gonna get annihilated on the left. Not much I can do about that. But our right flank did win, which is the point. Now, this item here, advanced firepower, is actually not really an item I pick up very often, because most games it's not about not having enough damage to kill the opponent's stuff. It's about, it literally is about handling the opponent's chaff, basically, which is always a question about do you have the correct amount of clear, basically. Which, you know, isn't exactly a clear-cut clear-cut solution you can just rely on. So this range on these probably not super relevant, but I will start getting even more of these here, and just double checking that my opponent is correctly expanding their stuff. That is an incredibly strange choice, but I think I understand the idea. The idea is to both prevent me from electrically interfering with what my opponent is doing, but it's also a matter of providing basically counterplay to the Stormcallers. But this is something my Phoenixes can handle very well. Definitely not something I am particularly afraid of. Laser sight, speed specialist, stuff like this, not super relevant. Laser sight would be nice on the Phoenixes, but I'm gonna get extra range anyway, so not the most important topic. Alrighty, so let me do this because I pretty much almost super certain that we have the clear necessary to handle all of this. What we might not have is enough stall, which I would like to pretend we do have enough, but we actually don't. So definitely doing this. This to stop this from being an issue. This, and can definitely upgrade you just because I can. Alright, so there he go. So the chaff are gonna be particularly relevant. Opponent did react to the right flank, which is what I wanted. And now our opponent could be potentially screwed, maybe? Yep. Alright, so the anti-missile turrets did set back our opponent by a lot. he is almost winning the right flank, barely. But the combination of arc lights and storm colors clean up the mess. Nice. Definitely very good example of how to handle that kind of rush. Alrighty, I guess this ends the stream. Today was very productive. We won most of our games, lost to what is probably one of the best players in NA, which, to be honest, was my fault. I was still very inexperienced with the whole Vulcan Phoenix combo. I was a little bit too eager with the extra range, and my opponent handily punished me for it by putting down shields and essentially using opposing Vulcans as a meat shield for the damage from my Vulcans, and I couldn't really go into the ignite because it was too early into the game. So that was a very big lesson. Don't go extra range on the Vulcans until it is necessary. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll be definitely creating a video out of this stream, and see you tomorrow.